What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we knew something was going to happen. I've been saying this was going to happen at some point. Finally it did. Want to break down what's going on because, again, this is something that we are expecting is going to grow into something a little bit bigger. But what is that? Well, I'm going to get to that in just a second. First, all I ask is if you enjoy these daily uploads, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out the channel. Now, what is going on? Well, I want to talk about an article. Okay, this article that I'm about to read, it's from ABC News. It says congressional Republicans offer their own student loan debt solution. This came out yesterday. Okay, actually, this came out on July 3rd. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is not because I think Republicans are going to pass something and going to offer forgiveness to millions and millions of people. I don't think that's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is I think Republicans and Democrats are going to come together and try to figure out a way to pass some type of bipartisan bill. Now, what exactly is that bill going to contain? Well, that's what we're going to get into in this video. Because, again, I'm not the one that's just saying that, oh, it might happen. It's expected to happen. So it says in this article, in the wake of the Supreme Court's Friday ruling striking down the Biden administration's student loan debt cancellation plan, Republicans are moving forward with their own proposed solution. Well, what's in the solution? Well, what we've known for some time, and the reason why this is going to impact everybody, not just people with student loan debt, is because Republicans are now proposing fixing the student debt issue, the student debt crisis. Not just coming out and giving, 40-some million people, up to $10,000 in student debt forgiveness. That's not their plan. Their plan is to fix the student debt crisis first. And in the end, maybe there will be some forgiveness or forbearance. But that's it. Okay? And so it says the success of this return of repayment hinges on Secretary Cardona stepping up to the plate and giving borrowers and servicers clear guidance. Because the Secretary has yet to do that, we are demanding a briefing from him to explain the department's plans. It also goes on to say Senator Cassidy and Senate Republicans previously sent a letter to the Secretary asking to halt Biden's student debt relief plan in early June, calling it an affront to the millions of Americans that do not have student loans. This is true. They did send a letter. They did try to get the student loan forgiveness halted. Not necessarily because they didn't believe some people shouldn't receive student loan forgiveness, but just to come out and give up to $10,000 in loan forgiveness to every single borrower. Some said that was just insane. It set the country up for the wrong approach. And so we're going to see what happens there. But listen to their alternative. It says this is the GOP alternative. Members of Fox's committee have introduced a bill called the Federal Assistance to Initiate Repayment, or also known as the FAIR Act, which would allow student loan borrowers to access affordable and burden-free repayment options, according to the text. It says, among other changes, it would require the Education Secretary to make at least 12 notifications to borrowers before repayment begins, including options for repayment, the deadline, and more. Then goes on to say, the legislation would also create an income-driven repayment plan set at 10% of borrowers' discretionary income and would automatically have borrowers repaying based on their income. This is exactly what we've seen from the previous Repay plan under former President Barack Obama, and even President Biden himself is trying to change things up so that borrowers only pay up to 5% of their discretionary income. It also says interest would be paused on half of borrower's payment. Interest would be paused, and half of a borrower's payment would go towards the principal for those with adjusted gross income that is less than 300% of the federal poverty line, or $45,675 for people under the age of 65. It says the FAIR Act would also offer various deferment and forbearance options such as medical residency and active duty military and National Guard duty. In a joint statement, Reps Burgess Owens, Lisa McClain, and Fox called their proposed legislation a fiscally responsible targeted response. The key here is fiscally responsible, but it has to be something that is going to be considered fiscally responsible for both parties. Democrats are going to have a tough time voting for a bill that isn't going to actually do anything, isn't going to provide immediate results, isn't going to offer student loan forgiveness to some people. But I want to read you the rest of this article. Okay, it says, this Republican solution takes important steps to fix the broken student loan system, provide borrowers with clear guidance on repayment, and protect taxpayers from the economic fallout caused by the administration's agenda. This is a joint statement. It says student debt relief advocates rebuke the proposed House bill. They say, and I quote, "The FAIR Act is anything but fair." Student loan borrowers, this is from the Student Loan Borrowers Group, We the 45 Million Executive Director, Melissa Byron, says, it's disappointing that the House Republicans once again refuse to engage with student loan borrowers and advocates to work on solving the crisis of higher education costs. Here's the thing. Republicans want to solve the crisis surrounding the higher education costs. What they don't want to do is just provide student loan forgiveness to just anybody that has any type of student debt. That's it. Okay? So, how is this going to go moving forward? Well, here's what we know. Right now, Republicans are not opposed to passing some bill that's going to provide assistance or relief to student loan borrowers. What they're not going to do is they're not going to come out and just give anybody this forgiveness. So you'd have to qualify for it first. So you'd have to qualify for it. We know that. But as far as what else are they going to do? How are Democrats going to come on board with this? Well, it's actually going to be pretty simple. According to a recent report, Democrats are open to providing jumping on board with Republicans. However, there has to be something in it for them, because this bill, or the FAIR Act, this would actually help boost Republicans for the upcoming presidential campaign. Remember what I said, a couple days ago and last week as well, is that any bill that's passed has to be a bipartisan bill. Because if it's a very partisan bill and the other party votes for it, it's only going to hurt one party. So this bill would actually hurt Democrats. But if they can get some type of forgiveness in it, if they can attach it to another bill, if they can do something for Social Security, right? All these, something for SNAP beneficiaries, all these things are going to matter. So one of the things that I saw just the other day is, what if, and again, this wasn't from a lawmaker, this wasn't from someone from the Biden administration, it wasn't anything like that, just somebody's idea was, what if they gave some student loan forgiveness, but at the same time, they opted with the Republican proposal that just came out on the 3rd, and then what if they give some money back to SNAP beneficiaries? Because that could help as well. So all these things are possibilities. I just wanted to throw this out there, wanted to get you this information because I know this is extremely important. Now, you may not have student loan debt, but could you get something out of this, because student loan borrowers are still wanting, and were pretty much promised, up to $10,000 in student loan forgiveness? The answer is yes. So one thing I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way. I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Right now, I'm actually sitting in a parking garage. Going to spend a few days with my family, just doing some stuff, some sightseeing, and so yeah, I will be delivering these updates probably over the next, maybe over the next few days or a week. Not sure how long we'll be, taking a little vacation, but I will be giving you these updates probably once or twice a day, as usual. So again, if you appreciate that, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you guys on the next one.